You ever have one of those mornings where you're just standing there in your own house, bagel in hand, when you realize, oh great, my neighbor's not just a little odd. She's, let's say, armed and dangerous, but her weapon of choice is a clipboard and orthopedic shoes. I swear that was my reality last Tuesday, right around 8 a.m. Robe half open and my door frame dangling with these raw rainbow-colored wires just swinging in the breeze. And I know what you're thinking, how bad can it be, right? Let me paint the picture. 10 feet away, Mrs. Gable's out there in her yard, deadheading her petunias with all the tenderness of a surgeon and the empathy of a Bond villain. She doesn't even glance over. She doesn't need to. I can feel it in my bones. She knows what I'm looking at. The empty screw holes in my stucco, the ones where my doorbell camera used to be, are basically humming with her brand of crazy. Gone. Again. My camera vanished. But this time I wasn't reaching for the phone to call the cops and give them another reason to ignore me. Nope, not this time. See, I'd rigged that camera with a little surprise, a digital landmine tucked into the plastic casing. And if you're wondering what would possess a grown man to booby-trap a doorbell, you gotta rewind with me a bit. Let's go back to the day I signed the deed for this place, 42 Elm Street, a fixer-upper with all the charm of a haunted dollhouse. One of those decisions that ranks right up there with buying discount sushi at a gas station. Why'd I do it? Honestly, I wanted to fix something up. I wanted the classic American dream stand out on my own deck, cold beer in hand, proud of my little kingdom. The realtor Linda told me the neighborhood was quiet, her breath heavy with peppermint schnapps and desperation. What she meant, though, was controlled by an elderly warlord with a taste for suburban law and order. Move-in day. Hot as hell. I'm wrestling a busted leather couch through the front door, sweat everywhere, when boom, I feel it. You know that feeling when something's off in the ecosystem, like the birds shut up, the wind dies, and you just know there's a predator near. That was the moment. There she is, Mrs. Gable. Maybe 5 feet tall. Hair sprayed into something that could repel small arms fire. Floral blouse, cold stare. She looks me up and down, zeroes in on the sweat stains, and without even introducing herself, points at the doorframe. You scuff the paint. White semi-gloss. It looks tacky. No hi. No welcome. No here's a casserole. Just, you're bringing down the neighborhood. I try to be charming. Jack just bought the place, but she's got that clipboard out, snapping her pen like a trigger. She lays out the law, my trash cans left out too late, my moving truck idling a minute too long, possible crabgrass. I haven't even unpacked a spoon yet, and already I'm a criminal. She walks away stiff as a sergeant, and I'm left half in, half out of my own doorway, wondering if I'd just moved in next to a prison warden. And look, I tried to ignore her. I really did. But every day, a new note: grass height exceeds 2.5 inches. Curtains not white-lined. Visitor parked too close to curb. I've got a bathroom from the Carter administration wiring that would make a fire marshal weep, and now this. So I call a contractor. Sully. If Mrs. Gable is a bonsai tree of malice, Sully's an old oak that's been struck by lightning, doesn't care. Guy's built like a fridge, talks in grunts. Drives a Ford that sounds like it's coughing up a dragon. The first day he surveys the house, calls it a dump. Says the wiring's a hazard. The plumbing looks like it was installed by a drunk octopus. I hand him coffee, we bond over mutual suffering. But even Sully's not immune. He parks his truck tailgate over the sidewalk by 6 inches, and Mrs. Gable is there in a flash, screaming about ADA violations, snapping photos, threatening to call the city. Sully, God love him, just looks at her, all 6'4", and says, "Lady, I'm unloading. 5 minutes. Relax. Relax." Not a word in her vocabulary. She's on her phone taking pictures of everything, even Sully's face. Evidence, she yells. I'm stuck between them trying to keep the peace, but she's off adding unauthorized commercial activity to my file. Sully spits on the ground, shakes his head. You bought a house next to that man, you're going to need a bigger fence. Maybe a priest. That's the moment I decide enough. If she's going to keep a file on me, I'm keeping one on her. I buy the best doorbell camera I can find, drill it in myself. It's got motion sensors, night vision, two-way audio, the works. I show Sully proud. She ain't going to like that, he grumbles. Doesn't have to, I say. My house, my safety. He just laughs. Poke the bear, get the claws. He's not wrong. 2 days and the cops show up mid-Zoom call with my boss pounding on my door. Officer Miller, the face of a man who's seen too much, tells me there's a complaint, illegal surveillance targeting her bathroom window. I laugh. I mean, how could you not? I show him the feed. All you see is the porch, the street, a slice of Mrs. Gable's driveway. Miller sighs. If you could just maybe angle it left. Keep the peace. I tell him I want to be safe, not right. He gets it, tells me not to escalate. As he walks away, Mrs. Gable's on her porch pointing at the sky, gesturing like she's calling in an airstrike. Night comes. I check the camera. All good. Birds, moths, nothing suspicious. Then the next morning, silence. Birds gone. I check my phone camera offline. 3:42 a.m., I race downstairs. Wires sticking out like veins, camera missing. Her blinds are closed, but I know. I just know. I march over. Yeah, in my pajamas. Rage blinding me and pound on her door. I know you took it. Nothing. I bluff. I have the footage. It uploads to the cloud. Window creaks open. Get off my property or I'll call the cops. I yell. She denies, slams the window. Rage, pure and simple. I check the app. Last recording is nothing. She's cut the power, jammed the Wi-Fi, whatever. Smart. Sully shows up, finds me staring at the empty wall. She got it, huh? He asks. I nod. Bold man. I respect the hustle. But cops aren't going to raid a grandma's house for $100 doorbell. She's playing chess, you're playing checkers. So what do I do? Don't let her win, Sully says. But you can't beat her with rules. She owns the rules. Get creative. He's right. So I do. That afternoon I get a decoy camera, cheap and obvious. I put it up, big smile, you're on camera sign and everything. It lasts 3 days. Middle of the night I hear a noise, grab a bat, why I don't know. Just instincts, run outside. The camera's gone trash canned by dawn, smashed to bits. Message received, I can touch you, but you can't touch me. Cops come again. Did you see her take it? The officer asks. I saw a robe. A robe isn't a positive ID, sir. But she's the only one who hates me. It's a civil matter. He shrugs. 3 words that mean, we're not getting involved. I'm defeated. For about 10 minutes. Then Sully's got an idea. His cousin works in car security trackers and stuff. Technology's small these days. You could hide a tracker in a doorbell. And that's when the plan forms. We hit the hardware store. Sully drives mostly because his truck's the only thing big enough for my anxiety. Over breakfast burritos in the parking lot, we plot I need a doorbell shell, gold trim, and a GPS tracker, one that'll pick up movement if it so much as twitches. I want to watch the dot move across the map. We go inside, get a doorbell, get 4 trackers. The kid at the store tries to upsell me on a cloud plan. Braden, buddy, I need a shell, not a subscription. Give me the tracker. Back home, Sully lays out the tools, screwdrivers, epoxy, even a soldering iron for the vibes. We gut the doorbell wire and the tracker, add some washers for heft, seal it up. Looks perfect, like the Cadillac of surveillance. Now for the fun part, I mount it to the wall but leave the screws loose. No security bolts, just a regular Phillips, easy to steal. It's practically a dare. Then we wait. Night 1, nothing. I drink too much Red Bull, start naming dust bunnies. Night 2, nothing. Mrs. Gable's outside pretending to be innocent, but she's clocked it. I see the way her eyes dart over. By the 3rd night, I'm losing it. Maybe she's on to me. Maybe she's ex-CIA. Patience grasshopper, Sully says, munching a cruller. 4th night, a storm rolls in. Perfect cover. I actually managed to fall asleep, but somewhere after midnight, ding notification. My heart jumps. I grab my phone, GPS signal moving. I watch glued to the screen. The dot leaves my porch, moves down the sidewalk. Crosses the property line, goes up her driveway, through her door into the dining room. Stops. I wait. Still there. Adrenaline hits. I call 911. Not an emergency, but I'm tracking a stolen doorbell camera right now. GPS confirms it's in my neighbor's dining room. The dispatcher perks up. You have GPS on a doorbell. Long story. Okay, officers are in the area. Don't approach. Let them handle it. 5 minutes later, cruiser pulls up. It's Officer Miller again. He shakes his head. You again. I show him my phone, the little dot glowing in the dining room. That's actually precise, he says, almost amused. Well, that's probable cause, isn't it? He knocks on Mrs. Gable's door. I stand out in the rain watching. She answers, all innocent, pink robe, confused. Miller explains, there's stolen property in your house, GPS confirmed. For a split second, her eyes flicker. She gets it. She tries to wriggle out. Electronics malfunction. I found it on my lawn, was going to return it. Miller's not having it. It's an outdoor camera, ma'am. It's supposed to be outside. She finally opens the door wider. They retrieve the camera evidence bag and all. Miller hands her a clipboard. Oh, the irony, citing her for theft. She signs angry scribble, practically tearing the page. As they leave, Miller hands me the evidence bag. Next time, bolt it down with cement. I don't want to come back. You won't, I promise. That night, I walked back inside, soaked but grinning like an idiot. I put the camera on the kitchen island. Sully's going to love this. The next morning, he shows up with donuts, sees the camera, and laughs so hard the windows shake. She put it on the dining room table, man, that's cold. We bolt the new camera down with a custom steel cage, 6-inch lag bolts into the studs. You'd need dynamite to get it off now. Mrs. Gable. Her blinds stay closed. Neighborhood's quiet. A week later, I get a letter. Mrs. Gable has stepped down from her post on the architectural committee to focus on personal legal matters. An interim will be elected soon. I step onto my porch, breathing in that suburban morning. Pete the electrician shouts, "House is looking good, Jack." For the first time, it feels like home. I catch a flicker of movement, her blinds just a sliver, one eye peeking out. I smile, wave. The blinds snap shut. Robert Frost said, "Good fences make good neighbors." Sometimes, though, when fences aren't enough, a steel cage and a bit of righteous pettiness do the trick. I went inside, shut the door, ready to finish my renovation, finally knowing exactly who was ringing my bell. So let me ask you, where do you draw the line between standing up for yourself and just plain escalating? Is there a point where fighting back becomes its own kind of madness? Ever tangled with a neighbor like that, or God help you been that neighbor? Let me know. I need to know I'm not the only one.